very first episode of Ladies Let's Talk Business, where we talk about more than just the business of money, but the business of being a woman, all parts of being a woman. Today's episode is about the business of marriage, and I'm joined by three incredible women. So let's get into this show, honey, and let's talk about it, ladies.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
Welcome.
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Thank
Thank you all
you.
again for being here, being a part of the very first show. I am honored because I think this is going to be a great discussion.
It is.
Mhm.
So
I'm
let me
excited.
tell the people who we
excited.
got here, okay? So Miss Quee. So she's been through it all, the butterflies, the breakups, and the brave choice to keep believing in love.
Mhm.
She's now on her third marriage, and she's showing us what it looks like to grow and become the wife that God has called her to be.
Yes.
Miss Quee,
Mhm.
thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to hear your story. I'm sure our viewers can't, and our listeners can't wait to hear it. So, yeah.
I'm
we're gonna get
excited.
into some things today.
Thank you.
Yes. Fran,
Yes,
how you
indeed.
doing?
I am well.
All right, now, Fran and her husband said, I do. Then they said, I don't. Then they said, I do again. Then they found their way back to each other. And her story is going to be one of reconciliation and then just raw honesty and what it looks like to choose your partner again and again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
Brandy.
Yes.
Now, Brandy is a licensed, is a
Therapist.
and is a wedding officiant. So she can
Yes.
counsel you and marry you, okay? And she's here because she has helped countless couples get to forever and heal from what happened. So she's going to bring some clinical insight and some spiritual grounding to this conversation, okay?
Yes.
Let's get into it, lady.
Let's
do it.
All right. So I've been on TikTok. And when I searched about, preparing for this,
Mhm.
I searched about marriage, what other people are saying about marriage. Everything was negative. Marriage is hard, is this, is that. If marriage is so hard, why do we as women want marriage? Fran?
Well, for me, I want it for security, for partnership, for companionship, for friendship, for building, and bridging the gap between two families that we can bring together and help them to grow. When I got married at 21, I didn't know that that's what I was doing. But as I continued to build my family, we have 4 sons. So it's important for us to be a nucleus for them as well. So it's a lot of different things for me. But if somebody says they don't want it, I'd be willing to challenge them and bet some money on it because everybody wants to have their person.
Right.
Everybody want to have their person
Yeah.
that they can depend on. That is the one that's their go-to all the time. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you?
For me, marriage is about community.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in our Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is very important for our little kids, for our babies growing up. Marriage is sacred. Marriage helps you to see yourself.
Yes.
It really unveils everything about you to show you your true self. So I think that's important. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Brandy,
Yes.
you have couples coming in and they're talking about the hard in marriage.
Mm.
What are the top things that you're seeing that they're saying is hard?
Communication.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Finances, in their growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have to understand you have to grow together. And a lot of times, couples that I see are not doing it. And I'm gonna tell you something else that I've seen. A lot of couples that I have, honestly, either should not have gotten married
Mm-hmm.
or they should have waited to get married.
So the red flags were there, but
Yes.
they pushed through and went ahead.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Been
there.
So
Mhm.
going back when you said about communication and friend, something you said about getting married at 21. I got married at 19. I'm still married. We've been married 24 years. But getting married at 19, getting married at 21, did that play a part in you and your husband saying, I don't at some point?
I can't say that it played a part in us saying I don't. When we get into talking about the business side of it, then I can tell you more about the part that made us say I don't. You so we're running a business together.
Oh.
Is what made us say I don't. Because I'll tell you the truth. Like, we dated each other for the entire time. So there was no part where we weren't dating each other. We weren't still focused on communicating and being best friends and that kind of thing. Running that business together, though, is where the I don't came in.
I can see.
And yeah, first of all, you go from having your space and then coming back together to being with each other 24 hours a day. And like Quee said, it kind of helps you to realize who you are as a person. So that part that some of us get to evaluate and analyze separately from our partners and then kind of feel compassionately for our partners and come back, we didn't have that space. So if we got into it, and in the restaurant is already high powered, stressful, that kind of thing. So if you're in the kitchen and you're trying to cook together and you already got an attitude,
close capacity.
Oh yeah, like my station was right here and his station was right next to me. Okay.
So the constant contact
Flung
over from
every day.
work to home.
Absolutely. In both of them, because we had both of them together. Like, we're trying to build this business. We're trying to maintain our home. We're trying to make sure our boys are doing good. And so I started, what people don't know is I became a chef because my husband planted that seed. My husband wanted to own a restaurant. And I was like, okay, baby, well, we can do this. And then I started to build from that, because what do wives do? The husbands plant the seed, and we nurture them,
fertilize it, sow it, harvest,
and make them grow.
All of it.
So when I talk about everything about who I am today is backed and supported by him, that's me really saying, like, nah, he got me pregnant with this idea. I wanted to be an attorney because he didn't go to culinary school. Right. He was like, nah, I just know how to be on the grill real good. I cook good. Right. But you went to culinary school. And so this is something that I just developed from there. And it came from a lot of love points that I can remember. Like I said, when I was 8, my dad said, if you love me, you'll cook for me. So I have a tattoo right now that says, cooking is love made visible.
Let's pause, because we're going to get more into your business in a minute.
Yeah.
I want to switch to Quee for a minute.
Yeah.
So Quee, marriage number 3. When people hear that, how do they react? And do you care how people react when they hear?
So let's answer the second question first. No,
okay.
I don't care.
Here you go.
I don't care. I know this sounds cliche. A lot of women say this, but I'm a wife.
Okay.
Yeah. The nurture in me, the taking care of in me, it won't allow me to be single.
Gotcha.
It won't allow me to. I have a gift in me as a woman that God has planted. And I think he planted in a lot of women. Like, so for me, when I hear people say, oh, you're in your 3rd marriage, like, oh, I'm never getting married again, or some people been on their 3rd and 4th marriage and they're like, I'm never getting married again. That wasn't me. I just knew that was the wrong person.
You decided to keep loving.
Right.
So what was different? What did you, I know you spoke on you healing and being the wife that God has called you to be. What did you experience in marriage 1 and 2 that made you be super aware when you went into this 3rd marriage, so that you were fully healed and that you wouldn't have those repeats in this new marriage?
Marriage 1, I didn't know who I was.
Okay.
Fully.
Were you young when you got
young?
Okay.
I was 21.
Okay.
So what they say, your frontal lobe is not fully developed in your early 20s. So there was a lot I needed to learn about myself. Me and him, we bumped heads on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And we were growing, trying to figure out who we were. And so I didn't have a relationship with God like I do now.
Okay.
That took me a long time to develop. Divorce took me a long time to develop that. I went through a season. I wanted to commit suicide. And yeah, it was dark. It was very dark. I had never been through anything like that before, but that made me stronger. So I went into the second marriage with an open mind, an open heart, and it just didn't work out. The first marriage, I didn't ask God, is this for me? Because I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't spiritually mature. The second marriage, I did, but I didn't hear an answer. I just did it. The second marriage was not ideal. It wasn't my idea of a person I wanted to be with forever. But I said I'm going to stay optimistic and open, being honest. I wanted to be honest.
How long did the first and second marriage last?
The first marriage lasted 9 years.
Okay.
The second marriage lasted a year.
And how long have you been married to your current husband?
My current husband, we got married in January. That's my black magic. I love him. That's my black magic.
Yes, babe.
So you said something, Queen. I want you to jump in, Brandy. You said at one point, I'm so glad that you're still here with us.
Yeah, most definitely.
Brandy, when you are counseling people, women, or even men, and they're going through divorces, how often does suicide come up? The thought.
You know what? Overall, it comes a lot, especially with what occurred within a divorce. Like sometimes it's just like it came out of nowhere, or the situations that occurred, especially if you were so invested, if you were the good wife or the good husband, or the perfect wife or the perfect husband. A lot of times, and I've learned this for myself of someone who has a desire to be married, where I'm gonna do everything I need to do to be that perfect one, and we're being so invested to be that perfect one, but we're not being our perfect selves, and have to understand that there is no perfection because there's always room to grow. But yeah, I've met a lot of couples that've been in dark spaces because of the divorce. I tell people well, first of all, Queen, I'm so glad that that you do not succeed. I'm glad that's one thing that you failed at in life. So let me say that.
Me too.
And a lot of times, when people speak about suicide, sometimes it could be a thought, then sometimes it could be, I got a plan.
Right.
But I think when I don't want to say a phase, but a lot of times people go through that. But the thing is, don't go through the plan, but go through that phase.
Go through that season.
Yeah,
and sit with that hurt.
Yeah, and also surround yourself around people who are going to point to that, because it's so easy to say, "Oh, you got so much to live for," or read this Bible verse. Like, no, you got to reach out to people. You got to be there for them. You have to listen to them.
So that's going to lead to another question, and you ladies can chime in too. We had a Facebook user send a question in. She's been sharing her ups and downs of her marriages with her family, and now she's embarrassed. So, from your viewpoint, is it good to share with your family and friends? And ladies, have you shared with families and friends and then regretted it on the back end?
So let me say, as a wedding officiant, because I don't do the dearly beloved we're gathered here today. Like, mine is very real, and I have the audience to do a vow.
Okay.
That you promise basically to respect their boundaries, basically stay out of their business. And also for the couples that they show a united front. And I have to tell people, when you tell your friends and your family your business about your spouse, you know that you just mad and you're not going nowhere, keep your mouth closed.
Fran, Queen. have you ever shared?
I definitely learned that the hard way. My mama used to tell me, don't tell people your business because, see, you'll be done made friends with them again and everybody else still mad at them. And so, although my divorce from my husband was not very public.
Not at all.
To the public view, it was very public to our families and friends. And so when I got ready to get married to him again, there was a lot of backlash because of it. Not necessarily. So everybody knows that once I make my mind up that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care what you say. Because I've resolved to that. I've already prayed over it. I've already come to my resolve and you can't influence me. But on the flip side of that, I had to be very protective of him because and really kind of cut some folks off for some time before I was able to embrace them again, because I had to protect the sacredness of our marriage and what we were trying to build again. But I know where a lot of where I messed up at is like I lost my best friend, right? Because she's like, if you go back to him, then I ain't gonna never talk to you again, because she knew all the tea, right? And so you confide in your best friend because you think this is my person, you know, and it's really kind of a therapy session.
In marriage, I've gotten over it. Y'all should get over it. Family and friends, they don't do that because they don't have a connection with your spouse that you have. Quee, what about you?
For me, I think it's important to talk to people who are spiritually mature.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are in a healthy marriage. I didn't talk to a lot of single people about what I was dealing with. So that helped me.
Okay.
Some of my married homegirls will give me sound advice.
Yeah. For another question,
sound advice about what was going on, because you have to look in the mirror too. Some things that you do say, you know, not giving anybody okay to do the things that they do, but you do have to look in the mirror as a wife, as a woman. So I appreciated that sound advice. I didn't tell a lot of people because a lot of people just can't handle that type of, you know.
They come from a place of judgment,
Right.
not understanding.
Right.
But you said advice. What's the worst marriage advice y'all? Not the best, because we always hear, but what's the worst? Like, why would you tell me that? What's the worst advice y'all got? And Brandy, what have you heard? You can think on that too. What have your people told you? This is my mama told me to do such and such. What's the worst?
The worst for me was cheat back. Yeah.
I've heard that before.
The worst for me was, girl, them kids will be okay. My mama went through it. I acclimated to it. And I'm like, nah, my babies need their daddy. Because daddies are important.
Yeah.
And so that was the worst. Like, they'll be okay. They'll adjust. My kids did not adjust well to our divorce at all.
Brandy?
The worst advice I've probably heard that my clients have said that was told to them was, do I really want to say
Don't
that?
say it, girl.
Say it, girl.
You know what?
Let me look in the camera. The people won't.
I'm not going to say the worst advice, but I feel like it was like a cliffhanger. Just pray about it. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, you pray about it, but you need to work with it.
Right.
So I would say that, like, it was a cliche. Just pray about it.
Yeah.
You know, or just stay. Because I dealt with some marriages that I'm like, I can't really say. Like, I don't give my client now. I don't tell them what to do. But if I see you going down this rabbit hole, I'm gonna have to say something.
Right.
So I've seen some clients. I'm like, y'all not gonna divorce? You know. And I think so. I would say this with a cheat back. So I did have a couple. I didn't say cheat back, but I had a couple where it was still some cheating going on while we're in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, clearly, you're not going to stop doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to leave. So what we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You going to get you another person? You want an extra, like, what?
You have an open marriage in there?
No, I don't know what happened. But I'm just saying, if, like, if you're in and you're constantly doing the behavior, like,
something has to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because one thing I will tell my clients, I would tell them, I'm not team you, I'm not team you, I'm team y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't judge about your marriage, because I've had clients that had various dynamics of marriage. So my job is to help you guys come up with a resolution of what's going to work for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that even if that means we're going to work on this marriage and we're going to make it fit for us, or we're going to find a way for us to move on with our lives and
All right.
and in a positive manner.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Qui and Fran, is it when situations occur in the marriage, was it harder for you to forgive your spouse or to forgive yourself for how you responded? Because I know we as women, when conflict arises, we can be very, I know I have a smart mouth.
Mm.
And I know we can say some things that when we look back, we don't mean it. So when all the dust and the stuff is over with, is it hard for you to forgive your spouse or yourself for what has gone on when you have a big blow up?
For me, in the first marriage, it was both.
Okay.
I had to forgive myself and I had to forgive him, and it was easy because we were friends.
I love it.
Yeah, we still are friends today. Like, we were friends. The second marriage, I was proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to forgive myself, but I did have to forgive him.
Mm.
And it wasn't challenging. It wasn't challenging to forgive him. But yeah, I went through both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fran, what about you?
I think ultimately, before we get to accountability, we always want to blame the other person first. But I'm grateful that I was around people that were like, "Nah, but what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you say, huh?
Yeah.
What did you add to this?" So it made me take a hard look at myself and what things that I could add to it. And I always say this: if I encounter people who have been divorced and they can't tell me what they did wrong, then they haven't healed yet, right? And so I had to do a hard look through that healing journey. When you talk about sitting with that hurt and sitting through that time, I had the same thoughts as you, with my pistol sitting on the table, right? About what do I do with this, right? But when you sit in it, there is an important responsibility to sit with what that hurt feels like and what those decisions, what the consequences of your decisions were.
Yeah.
Because
Go back a little bit. When you said you had your pistol, was it the first time you used to do your husband or yourself? Had it gotten to that bad?
no, it was me looking at the pistol saying I could just end it right here.
I thought you were saying
Right.
you were going to do something to.
No, I could have in some experiences,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But all of them, if you're spiritually grounded in any way, no matter how much faith you have or how little faith you have, if you're spiritually grounded, then you go back and you rethink those things. Even though you have those thoughts, you may not come up with a plan. It is just you're in this dark space and you kind of in a woe is me, like, God, I could just end it right here because that'll make it so much easier. And then you get to a point where in your meditation it's like, no, you have too much to live for.
Definitely.
Right. So I think it was tough forgiving him and tough forgiving me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, go ahead, Brandy.
I have a question to ask. It's the same question, but it's different for both of you guys. So, my question to you was, before you got married again, did you and your husband go to counseling together?
So we didn't go to counseling together.
Okay.
We did go to counseling.
So y'all did individual, but y'all didn't do
Correct.
couples. Okay.
So a lot of our reconciliation had to do with us correcting our own behaviors. Because I can blame you for what you did.
Right.
But if I don't correct my own behavior, then I'm still bringing. So there were things that we had to correct.
So with you correcting yourself, what were some of those things?
One of them is managing my ego.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, in my business, it went so far, so fast. It's easy for you to get big head and be like, no, I did this and I did this.
Oh, girl. So when you
Right.
had that,
Yeah, I went through that.
Owner is
Yeah.
does ego, did that come up in past marriages or in this marriage?
In this marriage, it was challenging in the beginning because that's where I was. Like, okay, I'm never going to depend on somebody. I'm going to have my own forever. And, be this boss chick. And he just came in and was like, okay.
Do we?
Okay, sis.
That's it.
I do. I see it with a lot of women that are successful, that have their own name. Yeah, like but you know, they don't know it's life for me. And I'm just gonna be honest. Like, when the time comes for me to be married, people gonna know Brandy J. Flynn before they know Brandy, whoever it may be. So
that another question, because I'm glad you said that. Being a wife, but having a sense of independence, is it hard to manage that? Because when my husband get mad at me, okay, strong, independent, married woman, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, tell me, because I don't know what I'm not cutting off that's making you feel like this. So, is that hard to balance for you ladies?
It was. It was.
Okay.
It's not now.
Okay.
It was because I had a lot of responsibility. And so when you paying $15,000, $20,000 a month and you making it happen, plus this house is running, plus I'm at this school with the kids, and I'm on in newspapers and magazines. And
Wonder Woman, baby.
Yeah. That was my problem. You can't tell me nothing.
But you know, but you got men that think the same way too.
Yes, but okay, in my experience.
No, I get that. I was just saying, like, when you said that, I was thinking you got men that think the same way. Like, well, if I pay the cost to be the boss. So I'm saying it to not say it that it's I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but not to say, like, I'm just saying that it's just not women who think
that it was a we thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I didn't recognize and acknowledge that he was just as engaged.
Right.
He was just as much responsible. He was just as much a part of this whole process, even though the folks were coming at me.
Right. Because you were the face of the
Exactly.
Right. We know Chef Fran, so you're out there.
Exactly. And so that's what it was for me.
In this marriage, no, I don't have that strong, independent woman mentality. Because I have a helper. Like, he's a helper. I'm his helpmate. Before, though, I took on a bulk of the responsibility. So I did, that, like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just I'm a Virgo, and I'm a first child. I'm asked you one time to do it, sir. But I've gotten better, I'll say, because like Brandy, you said, communication.
That's
told me, hey, you don't have to do everything on your own. And so now I'm very aware before I do some things. I be like, well, I'm finna do such and such. How you feel about this? I'm not overstepping, am I? He be like, oh, no, you're fine. So I make it more front of mind.
Right.
And this is 24 years in, so we're still learning at different.
And you're gonna continue to learn, because you don't have that same 19-year-old frame of mind. So that's what I'm saying, that you guys are growing.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to the question for you. did you ever go to counseling for yourself to like, hey, let me see what's going on. First of all, let me make sure it's not me.
Right.
You know, is it me? Am I the villain? And let me detox whatever I'm dealing with, because I will share the last relationship that I was in, and it affected me because I thought that was my person. I thought that was going to be the person who was going to make me a missus. Did not happen. Thank you. Thank you for not doing that. I made a TikTok video about it. Thank you. Thank you for not. Thank you. Thank you. But I did go to therapy for that, and I told my therapist, I said, I have PTSD from dating. Like, yeah.
People don't realize that therapists are the therapists too.
We're human. And I'm going to tell you something. So I will say this. I'm not going to say if your therapist don't go to therapy that it's a red flag. If your therapist think that because they are a therapist that they don't ever need therapy, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm human. I'm not perfect, you know. But yeah, I went to therapy and I was just like, I have PTSD from dating. And she was like, huh? I said, yeah, that was I put in my paperwork. I have PTSD from dating because I want to ensure that when I do step out again, that I have a clear vision, that I'm not bringing in baggage, dumping on you, and then I become the villain.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think there's some emotional intelligence that comes with just the maturity of it all. So I can tell you that's where I was then. And then as we graduate, right? As we maturate into being who God called us to be and being more focused on our purpose as a wife. Not anything else. Just
as a wife.
Purpose as a wife. Who am I to be with my husband? How am I supposed to be his helpmate? What am I supposed to do to help him? Then there's a lot of emotional intelligence and emotional maturity that comes with that. And so once you move into that, then you can start having a more happier time. Even the conflicts, even the hard conversations.
So how do you handle conflicts now?
I pray first. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. But with my husband now, he's very patient.
Okay.
He's very, first of all, he's 17 years older than me. Okay. He's been there, done that, everything you can think of. Okay. So his emotional intelligence is there. That is needed. Especially with a woman who's triggered by everything.
Gotcha.
Who's been through everything. You need a solid foundation. And in him, I found that solid foundation. Like, he's very laid back. If I'm running, because there was a time I was running in the beginning, I'm like, oh, I'm not going through this. And he said, come here, hold my hand. What are you feeling right now? My God. I had never had that before.
I love that.
Never had that before.
I love that for you.
He's very patient. And
that's
I'm
good.
triggered. Yeah. Like, because I did go to therapy after the first marriage, after the second. And therapy helped me to realize my triggers. I'm going to always be triggered for life. But you learn in therapy how to deal with your triggers. So triggers now for me is not running anymore. Triggers now is, let me pray. Let me talk. Yeah.
For me,
how you respond to your triggers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to think that praying is a trigger. It's how you respond to the trigger.
I have to make a conscious decision to let me get back to you on this. Let's talk about this later. Let's talk about this later. I'm not ready to talk about this right now, or I'm ready to talk about this. And can we have a conversation about this? And then be focused on the core issue. That's the thing. A lot of times we don't handle the core issue. We go in 17 different directions, right? In reference to once we start that conversation. And I remember when you did this 5 years ago.
20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like I consciously do not bring up what we decided that we forgave in
Oh
the
yeah.
20-year marriage that we
Right.
had prior to divorce, right? So we were married 20 years, we divorced for 6, and then we remarried. So if it happened in the 20-year marriage, we're not talking about that.
That's sealed up.
That's gone. We got rid of that. So now it is about the core issue. Here's what my problem is. Here's how you can help me to resolve this. If there's no resolution, then I have to commit to hearing you so I can understand from your perspective. So now I can be compassionate about what you're saying. Because a lot of times we be talking about the same thing parallel.
Mm-hmm.
But we saying something totally different, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not hearing each other. So it really takes time or it takes effort for you to sit there and be like, oh, okay. I see. I see how you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can see how you feel.
Goes back to the emotional
Intelligence.
Yeah.
again.
And it also goes back to communicating, because people have to understand communicating is more than, well, this is what I said.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
processing it and receiving it. I tell my clients, we have to learn how to have a disagreement, because you're going to argue, but let's learn how to properly argue, because it's like when you said, I'm the type of person that want to table it and I'll come back to it. But we have to understand, just because you're ready to start talking about it again, they may not be ready to. So we have to come to a middle ground about that. Or how do we argue? How do we have a debate? How do we have a disagreement?
So practically, what I'll do, I learned this from some Africans that I met. So I'm getting my hair braided one time. Quick story. Getting my hair braided one time. All the men come in. They lay out the carpet, and they put all the food out there. And
you get your hair braided?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was years ago.
Okay.
Anyway, so the women in there braiding,
Right.
and the men come in at 6:00 because it's time for prayer and time for them to eat. So they came in, they prayed on the carpet, they put all the food down, and they invited me to come and eat with them. There was no individual plates.
Okay.
Everybody ate out of the same place. So I asked them, what was that in their culture? And so they told me that you cannot have art with your brother when you have to eat out of the same plate with him. So if we done had something that's really like, this is a trigger for me, and we need to resolve this because I really want to go and lay down in the bed with you, and I want to hold you and hug you and kiss you and be intimate with you, we gonna eat out the same plate.
Back to cooking again.
Yeah.
Back to your calling. Back
Yeah.
to cooking again.
Cooking is love made visible. So you put I put all the food on the same plate, and we got. The one thing about it is, once you start, even if you don't say anything, once you start eating out the same plate and you look up at your person, you gonna bust out laughing or something.
Wow.
Like, did you really say that to me? Like, and now we joking with each other. Like, not you was that mad that you said this to me, and we'll start laughing about it.
Ladies, if you and your husband are into it and you started the argument, get them on a plate.
Yes. Fix his plate, baby.
Sit down and put his favorite show on, a game on, and y'all eat.
Turn the TV off.
Crush your friend. And that's the best advice somebody gonna receive, friend.
Yeah.
Really?
Make that man a plate.
Make him a plate, sugar. Take him a plate, baby.
Now, friend, you leading me to my next question. You said, you want to be in the bed with him and, do all the things. Let's talk about grown folk stuff now.
Okay.
So, sex. Does that... Okay, cool.
I'm so ashamed.
Yeah, don't be. You married, honey.
You married.
Fine.
Yes, cheers. Get your glass.
You married, boo.
So the good sex, because I know, like I said, you've both been divorced, Fran, you're back with the same man again. Does having good sex with a person make you stay in a marriage longer? Was that...
I can't say it make you stay in a marriage longer, but I will tell you it's important.
Okay.
Good sex will make you rethink some things.
Okay. Come on, Queen. I see you over there shaking, girl. Come on, tell the people.
So, I'm just saying.
Good sex does not make you stay. Nothing make you stay if you don't want to be kept. Okay? Nothing will. But sex for me is more of intimacy. I'm just not a sex girl. Like, I love intimacy. Touching, feeling, cooking, rubbing. That's good for me.
Well, Koya, I'm gonna tell you, sugar.
We drink
I
to this.
value that over.
Listen, I like my intimacy, but listen, I
Fran said, "Come on with the come on, baby."
I want to be able to swing my hair.
I like to come on too.
Yeah, let's do that.
But I've been like my second marriage. We had sex, but it was no intimacy. It was no.
It was just the act.
Yeah. I think it does matter when you have the intimacy. That's what makes you want to have the intercourse, the interaction, right?
And it comes with communication.
It comes with the communication, right? It comes with cooking. It comes with touching. It comes with the support. It comes with pushing each other into being better people, making better choices. It comes with all of that. But when it comes down to having sex, sugar, I need my bed.
So
everything.
So I've heard the advice from an older lady that you never tell your husband no to sex, even if you're mad, upset. How do y'all feel about that? Have you ever been where you just don't want to and you've done it just because? Or how do you feel about that? Just not to
I would say this. I've been in marriages to where I've told him no. Because he didn't speak to me spiritually, emotionally. My body wouldn't respond. But now, no, I don't tell him no.
Okay.
Whether I'm mad, well, in fact, like she said, when she fixed that plate, we can be mad and he'll make a way. And I'll be like, okay. Come over him.
Friend.
I think it's a such thing as obligatory sex.
Okay.
Sometimes listen, perimenopause.
I'm going through that right now.
Joints.
A hot flash right now, y'all.
Yes.
I'm sweating. Okay.
Joints aching.
Why?
Yes. And there's a lot of things that happen to us hormonally that sometimes we're not even in the mind frame of that, right? And then your husband says, come here, I want to, or he approaches in a way that lets you know that he wants to be intimate with you. There are some times that you have to make up in your mind that, okay, I got to give this to my husband, or I am willing to give this to my husband because I am satisfying his needs. And we have to, in marriage, start thinking about it's not just about what we want and what we receive. It's about how our spouse receives. And I know my husband's love language is touch, physical intimacy, right? So if I want to disconnect with him, don't touch him. If I want to keep connected with him, then there's sometimes I ain't even thinking about sex. I got my hair wrapped up. I'm trying to watch the news at 10 o'clock, trying to wind down. And the next thing you know, my hip being rubbed. I'm being pulled to so I'm like, damn. Okay, let me get my mind right, because I know that there are needs that my husband has. And if I expect for him to satisfy my needs, then it has to be a give situation, not give-take. Give situation. So unless I am sick, I'm talking about ill.
So that advice that I got from that older woman.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Tell them no.
That's good wisdom.
She's
okay.
Still married. Brandy, how do you feel when you have couples come in and sex is an issue in the marriage?
So I've had couples who had sex as an issue, and again, it goes back to communicating.
Right.
I'm not going to say that you shouldn't say no, but I think your husband should know why you're saying no.
Okay.
You know, just to say no, whatever like that. Or again, because as women, the mind, this and this got to connect.
Right.
So, so if they not talking, then he want to jump up on you. even if the woman does do it, it's going to feel like a chore. She 9 out of 10, she's just gonna lay there, and it's not gonna be pleasurable for her. So I'm always, you have the right to say no, but also I feel that your husband needs to know your reason to say no. And it also goes back to you when you said, if he, we got to take care of each other, because I've had couples where, he needs to do this, he needs to do that, but your husband asking for this, and he got to fight you for it. So it needs to be discussed. I feel that your husband should know the why. He may not understand the perimenopausal, or you just not mentally there.
Medication you're on.
Exactly.
You could be very stressed with your family.
Exactly. So it goes for communication. And then sometimes, some women have to be prepared to know, like, hey, this is what he wants. Like ahead of time, don't. I've had someone, don't treat me like some little freak off. Kind of let me know that this is something that you will. Well, when I say freak off, but let me me around. But when I mean, I'm not talking about the actual act. I mean, like,
Brandy.
I'm sorry. Like, kind of let me, like, kind of get me ready to, like, oh, this, especially when there's kids and little kids involved, and you're working, like, oh, this is something he kind of wants. So let me get my mind together. Like, hey, it's gonna be Pound Town,
right?
Later on,
right
tonight.
Listen, they have to get a woman a forewarning.
Yeah,
let me know what to expect later.
I went through a period in one of my marriages to where cheating was involved, so I didn't even see him the same.
Right.
So I went through that like, I don't want it.
So it's like the intimacy just stopped.
Like, that's how I knew it was over. I don't want it.
And honestly, that's understandable.
It is.
That is very understandable.
I
feel that to me, infidelity and abuse. Infidelity we can work on. Abuse, that person can work on it, but they need to work on it with somebody else. I don't think it would ever be the same.
Right.
I don't even think with infidelity it would ever be the same. But I can understand, like, why you, because he cheat. Oh, well,
yeah, that's couples who get through it, after the cheating and stuff like that. And you have to do the major work, but you have to.
And it's major work.
It is major work.
How do you help your couples through who come in where there's been cheating? Because I know sometimes people can't let go.
So the thing is, when it's been compulsive cheating, it's like
people with compulsive. What
you're doing it consistently over and over, consistent cheating.
Okay.
And it's like, well, how do you expect for your mate to move on and forgive you if you keep doing it? Right. And then you can't tell a person when they should forgive you or you should be over. You can't control somebody else's forgiveness. It may take a minute, but but I also tell my couples, like, if you're going to stay with this person and you want to have a healthy marriage, then yes, you are going to have to work on forgiving.
Right.
And some people don't. Some people, I'm like, if you're going to keep throwing in their face that they cheated, then leave. I know a divorce attornay. I give you that number. And I have given clients, once they said they done, you sure? Oh, well, here goes somebody I can refer you to. Because I'm a firm believer, I don't feel that you should be somewhere where that there is no reconciliation. There is nothing, like, they are not going to change. They are not doing the work. Basically, they just want me to accept it. And I'm not getting nothing out of it.
So, Queen, you mentioned in one of your marriages there was infidelity. And Brandy, I'm going to swing this question to you too. Did that affect your self-esteem? Did it make you feel like, what did I do wrong? Because, sometimes women will blame themselves, like, oh, if I would have did this, it's like you're kind of comparing yourself to the other woman. Or did you have that? And Brandy, do you see that?
So for me, my first marriage, again, it was my first time going through that. So I didn't truly know who I was as a woman. So I did blame myself a lot. Why did this happen? Why did she get pregnant? And we've been trying to get pregnant for years and never.
So the lady he cheated with got pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went through a lot during that time. That's why I just wanted to end it. I wanted it to all go away. Second time around, I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Because I was in such a dark place the first time.
You
I
can't
said I
take
would
me back.
Never go back.
I never.
Yeah.
Never go back there. So that's why I said earlier, I was proud of myself in my second time around and how I dealt with things. First time around, I was a little unhinged.
But it's understandable. Like I said, and like Brandy said earlier, I'm so glad that you made it through that, you know, because that's a lot to have to deal with.
Yeah, it is, you know, making a permanent decision on a temporary situation, you know, and that situation. What you did. Just leave.
Yeah.
Just exit, go.
And
Don't
you know, I grew up in a house to where my parents were married and my grandma and my granddaddy were married. I didn't see divorce like that.
So they made you feel pressure to stay in marriage.
Yeah.
But we also don't see what they go through, what they deal with.
Right.
You know.
At the time, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was younger. So it was like a lot about marriage that I know now, I didn't know back then. So,
Yeah. Because I think a lot of times we're not educated about it.
And I'm just like, he was like, man, we were kids. I said, yeah, I know, right? We weren't even supposed to get married, but yeah.
So, Fran, with you, did you feel pressure like Quee did to stay married or be married because of parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles?
So I came from a long line of preachers.
Shrink to this.
In the South.
Right. No more.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So, you know, it was, yeah. But just pray for him. Just undergird your husband. Just, you can, we gonna pray. And it's your responsibility to lead in this time where it's like, baby, I'm so sick of y'all telling me this. Because who is advocating for me? I'm telling you.
As you were saying that, I was just thinking about that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Lord. He heard my cry.
Yeah.
Got baptized again about a couple weeks ago.
I saw that.
But, yeah, girl. Thank you. But again, it's like it's always for the woman to stay and to pray for him.
And
but
to accept everything.
But
and
not holding the man or the person who is causing the disruption, not holding him accountable. And I remember
going home and upset and crying and going home and being told, you can't come here unless your husband bring you.
You can't come where?
Home.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to go home. I was running from whatever.
It's early on in the marriage.
Yeah, this was somewhere in our younger 20s or something like that. And we don't know how to handle conflict. And I'm going home crying and I just need to. And I was told, you can come if your husband bring you here. My husband wasn't bringing me. Your house or his pushed me back into something that was chaotic and toxic, and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't have anybody who was there saying, and this is my thing about everything that our elders say or what we're being taught in the Bible. Show me what this looks like practically.
And they don't.
Right.
And
you just giving me a cliche.
Yeah.
You just telling me to pray about it. Well, what the hell am I supposed to be praying for?
Yeah.
Right. What am I doing after I finish praying?
Right. What am I supposed to do? And so when you tell people that, so I'm very intentional when mentoring younger people to give them practical things that they can do. So when I say do that, you're supposed to do this, I'm telling you, here's what it looks like. This is what you're supposed to do. Because we send people away with these little cliches and feeling good about ourselves that we done had a conversation with somebody and you really ain't told.
Right.
Right? You really ain't told them nothing but a couple of
You
scriptures.
put a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
On their way.
A Band-Aid in the bud is still.
You know what I'm saying? It's still eating you up.
Yeah.
And who's pouring into him?
Exactly. And that was my thing. Like, y'all all telling me what's right to do. Who's talking to him? Who's talking? And I can go back to this with my daddy, with any of the men in my family, right? Who's telling them? You're training us as women to be independent and strong and get over it and be able to accept it and move forward and all that kind of stuff. When y'all sitting down having these round tables with them,
and it's not happening. You know,
they get a different conversation.
They do.
If they get a conversation.
If they get the conversation, right? And so in my single time, in that 6 years where I was divorced, in that single time, I always wanted to know, who are your positive influences? Who you talking to? Let me see the men you hanging around. Let me, because if you don't have any inspiration, motivation, mentorship, somebody giving you some positive influence, but then I'm expected to.
You gonna bleed on me. You gonna bleed on me.
That was so frustrating for me growing up. You keep telling me to do right.
And the men aren't being held accountable at all. So you mentioned that you mentor people and you want to give them real life advice. And I want you all you ladies, if you could go back and tell your younger self or a younger woman something about marriage before you enter marriage or before she enters, what would that be? Koi?
For me, I would say, wait.
Okay.
Wait. What you in a hurry for?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know yourself. Yeah.
I love it.
You don't know yourself yet. Get to know you, who you are as a woman, who you're becoming. What do you like? What do you want to do in life before you become somebody's wife?
Mm-hmm. Fran. Come on, give it to us.
Pay attention to their relationship with their families. Do they have a relationship with their mother? Do they have a relationship with their fathers? What is their relationship with the people in their close circle around them? That'll tell you a lot about the character of the person that you are bringing into your circle.
Well, let me ask you this. What if their parents are toxic?
You got to pay attention to that.
Because I think, like, a lot of times we're so big on, especially women, if we don't meet their family, if we don't meet their moms, they don't like us. Sometimes it could be protection. It's like, my mama toxic, my daddy toxic. So I don't bring that around. It's kind of like, and what made me think about that was the movie with I can't think of it, with Robin Thicke's ex-wife, Paula Patton. And what's my boyfriend's name? I can't think of it right now. The champagne. But anywho, he didn't bring, right. And Loretta Devine was the mama.
Yeah.
And she was mad because she didn't meet the future wife and stuff out there. And she did some toxic things. And he told her, this is why I don't never bring anybody around you because of your behavior. And it made me think about that. Like, sometimes they may not introduce you. It's not because of you or they don't take you seriously. It's because I know how my folks are, or I don't have this relationship with my parents because my parents are toxic.
Are they around them?
Yeah. But that's what it is. I was going to say, my perspective is, how do they handle those relationships with their family? Right?
That's the question it should be, instead of, if he don't have a good relationship with his mom, he can't. Girl, what if his mama ain't that person that you think that she is, or you think that she's supposed to be?
He still needs to do the work, and he still would need to go to therapy because he's going to bleed on his wife if his relationship with
exactly
is not handled.
Exactly.
That is very important.
And vice versa. Vice versa with women.
Yes,
if she has not had a relationship with her father, how does she know, unless she's had some male influences, how does she know how to maintain relationships with men.
And also, I know that you say with her father, but also with her mother, because sometimes women can have mommy issues when we actually think daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's also when the father is not present as well, right? And so when we start talking about the dynamic of family and the impact and how important it is on our community as a whole, we got to look at these relationships that I'm not saying that there are not good people that come from single parent households. Do not take me wrong when I say that. What I'm saying is the design has always been to break down our family structure in our communities. And so understanding that and knowing that there are a lot of single parents who have raised their children, mostly women, who also have not healed from their traumas, then there are a lot of behaviors that come along with growing up in those environments.
Yep.
And so you have to pay attention to that when you're getting in relationships because, as Quee said, they will bleed onto you.
It will.
So it leads to a question. We know there's a breakdown of the Black family unit. Do you stay in a marriage that may be toxic, like Brandy said, because you have kids, because you want to hold that family unit together, or do you leave and come a part of that breakdown?
I think
how do you handle that?
I think you stay if y'all are willing to do the work.
Okay.
But if no one is willing to do the work, I think you should leave.
Brandy, have you seen that with couples coming in? It's toxic. They're like, we got kids. No, we're going to stay together. And has it worked out for them?
It don't work out for the kids.
Okay. Because they're seeing
They're seeing it, and you're teaching the kids to stay in toxic situations.
Okay.
I also want to say my boyfriend name is Laz Alonso. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, sir. That's the character in the movie.
Like
you might be watching it.
Mr. Alonzo, if you want Brandy, take her on a date. Oh, please, come on, shoot your shot. Look in the camera.
I mentioned before, we took a picture. Yeah.
Brandy, you looking at...
I'm looking at the right one.
Single and ready.
You're my boyfriend in my head. I told you it was my man crush Monday. So yeah.
I'm going to be on the front row at the wedding.
You sure will?
Y'all start here first, okay? So let's lighten it up just a little bit before we wrap up. I talk to a lot of women and they tell me they hide purchases from their husband. Like, one lady told me she would... Look at y'all. One lady said she would put her bag in the back of the car to hide them. Do y'all have packages from y'all? Because I tell my husband it's the Amazon package coming. Can you watch and make sure?
Oh, so child, listen.
Talk about it.
I've been the woman to hide, and then I've been the woman that my husband had to hide from me because I was taking care of everything.
Okay.
So, that was uncomfortable too when I found that out. Now, I don't hide. I just don't say everything.
You know you spend it, but not how much you spend.
Babe, I brought a bag in the house and he said, boom, boom. Open the whole bag up. He called me boom, boom. Open the whole bag up. And what you got now? I just don't tell everything that I purchase.
Gotcha.
He see the bag.
So I don't hide because I am a point and click queen. Okay. So it's coming to the door. So if he doesn't see it, it's because he was at work when it got there and I picked the package up.
Right.
And I had already tried it on and hung it up and put it in the closet before he got home. That kind of thing. But I have a little bit of freedom just because, like, my husband is like, nah, but I got us. He takes care of everything. So the money that I make from catering and that kind of thing, he'll be like, that's yours.
Gotcha.
You do what you want to do with that. So it's not any mandate on what I can or can't do. So I don't have to hide anything from him because it's not coming out of the bills or anything like that. So I just have a little bit more freedom. But yeah, he doesn't see everything. I'm not necessarily hiding it, but he be at work when the packages come. So I don't want it to just be sitting in the floor when he gets home. I like a clean house.
Well, don't listen to me because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
going to encourage you ladies every time to buy. Okay, hey,
Keep your house clean,
that's
though.
work in my marriage.
Put it up.
But if y'all got to hide them pants,
And honestly, I don't think he would care. It's just that I say he's a plant lover. So he bring plants and I'm like, you got another plant? Okay, another one.
Yes.
It's like every day is new plants in our house. So
well, I
that's
feel
the only
I
reason
love
he says
plants
so.
too. So I feel them on that. Ladies, before we wrap up, all business women here. Brandy, we're going to start with you.
Start with me.
Tell the people, and we're going to make sure, guys, that it's in if you're viewing us on YouTube, we're going to make sure that it's in the description where you click their websites, their Instagram, social media, all that stuff. Brandy, tell the people how they can come for counseling or how you can marry them.
Well, I am a therapist that is also an officiant. I offer premarital counseling and postmarital counseling because I do counsel a couple that I actually married. I'm gonna give you my Instagram. So for my officiant is nuptials_by_Brandy. For counseling is consult Brandy J. Flynn. And also I have a product business, which is called the Beeline, where my products are for you to be inspired, to be motivated, and to ensure self-care, where I have my own tea line, my coffee mugs, and soap and shea butter, which is the Beeline. Yes.
I know that's
All
right.
right,
Chef Fran,
Brandon.
come on. So we can feed the people.
Yes,
And she
indeed.
makes some good food. Yeah. Look.
Yes.
And I ain't saying it because she on here. I've tasted her food. I've utilized her services. So yes.
Yes, indeed. You can find me anywhere on social media under Chef Fran Mosley. IG, Facebook, TikTok is all Chef Fran Mosley. But one of the things that I'm doing now is private mobile service. So we have also transitioned or graduated into TheraFair. It's therapy and it's massage therapy and fine dining. So we will come to you or we will do a whole concierge experience for you where you have a 60-minute massage while I'm preparing your meal. And once you're done with your massage, then you get the whole fine dining experience. So that's what I'm pushing now. It's so super fun and it's so relaxing. But I do catering from anywhere from one person to 1,000 people. So
Thank you for saying one person.
that's right. I will bring the restaurant experience to you. I feel like we miss a lot of that concierge service by going out. Even though I love restaurants, don't get me wrong, I just think that I found a niche where if you want me to come in and help you to fine dine in your individual space, I will be happy to do that for you. So you can find me anywhere on social media under Chef Fran Mosley.
Intimate, I love that.
Right, Queen.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. It's Quee_Jones. And you can also find me on Facebook. I'm now Chiquita Gibbs.
Yes.
I am a short hair specialist. I own Quee Jones Hair Studio, and I'm also part owner of Carbon Arcs Candles.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Well, y'all be sure to support these ladies again. All of their information about their businesses will be in the description box. And again, ladies, I want to thank you guys so much for being part of the very
And grab your glasses. This a cheers.
Mine will be empty.
Yes, and
cheers. And so
Somebody
the
was
ladies
sipping.
watching us at home, I hope that this episode was able to heal and help you. And we will see you next time when we will talk some more business. Bye now.
Hi.
All right, ladies. Cheers.
Cheers.
I did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Not a drop.
Get some more, boo.
Girl. I'll just say not a drop.